What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Beyond JUCO podcast. I'm your host, Sean Wilson. To my left and to my right, we got Z and Jay Green. We got a nice little show for y'all today. Get into these introductions, talk about who we are a little bit, where we came from, a little bit about this podcast. Let's get right into it.
I got a green. So Z from Petal, Mississippi. So down south kid. Grew up, played in Petal, played in Northwest. Spent the past years at USM. So I was there for the 1-11 season, but also this past season we turned everything around. I just transferred to Delta State.
What's up, YouTube? My name JG. Everybody call me Green. I grew up in Mississippi, small town called Union Church. Went to JUCO at Northwest, same school as went to. Did 2 years there. Went to Arkansas Pine Bluff. Had a pretty good career, man.
Z University of Pine Bluff. Prestige HBCU University. Prestigious.
Anyways, I'm Sean Wilson. I'm from Los Angeles. I played JUCO for 2 years at LA Valley College. Transferred to UAPB. Played there for 2 years. Played just about everything in the secondary, corner, nickel, safety, whatever they got, I played it. I coach now, coach high school ball over at Village Christian High School. I'm the DC over there, so yeah, that's a little bit about me. Now we got that out the way. Let's get into some football. So this past couple of weeks, we've had a lot of movement in the NFL as far as coaching hires, stuff of that nature. So we're going to go through, talk about all the hires from the 10 vacancies that were filled. We're going to go through, give a little overview, and we're each going to give a letter grade to each hire. So first one I got on the list, we have the Baltimore Ravens. That's my squad. We got rid of Harbaugh finally, hired Jesse Minter, the DC from the Chargers, who's had a top 5 defense on that team this past year. And they were pretty good the year before, but this year is really where they made their mark. The Ravens also brought in DeClan from the Packers OC, I believe, DeClan Doyle, 29 years old, young OC. He's supposed to be a pretty good guy. Sorry, not the Packers, the Bears, Ben Johnson guy. And then DC, we hired Anthony Weaver, who's the former DC of the Dolphins. He used to play for the Ravens as well and coached for us as the assistant a couple of years back. So let's go through and give this hire a letter grade. When do you guys take it?
All right, I'm gonna give Jesse Minters a solid A to A+. I like Minters. We all defensive guys. Green a quarterback at heart, so he an offensive guy. But so I'm like Minters. Minters also gets what he wants on defense with Kyle Hamilton and that linebacker core. Like him, McDonald all come from that same tree, work together. But Minters took what he learned from McDonald and Kyle, use it on Derwin James. So we've seen Derwin James really peak the last few years into what he could have been out the league. I think Derwin James is one of the best safeties in the league since he's been in the league. But like these past years, he's been playing at an elite level. And so I like Mentors. I think he'll make good hires offensively, bring in some guys for some pieces. I see a McDonald like turnaround with Mentors. Not saying they were going to make it to the Super Bowl in his second year, but I do see them being super competitive in AFC North the next few years.
Me personally, I put the mentor hire as an A-. Like I love the hire too. Like this past year, I think the Chargers had the number 5 defense in the league or something. And it was really good on third down. I think that, his intelligence that he has on defense bring a lot to the Ravens, who already have a pretty decent squad, in my opinion, especially defensively. I feel like all the stuff that he do, that'll help them out a lot. Because if you think about it, bro, the Chargers, outside of like Derwin James and Khalil Mack, can't too many people just name players that they got on that squad. And he still was, producing. I think last year they had like not 25, but like 24. I think they had like the number 1 scoring defense or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. So I like to hire.
Yeah. Me personally, you already know A+. It's the best hire ever. I think it's the best hire out of everybody. And I mean, I may be a little biased, but Mitchell's a defensive guy. Like the last 2 years, our defenses ain't been it. And it's like Green said, third down was a big thing for me as a Ravens fan. Zach Orr on third down is like our defense just looked like they had no awareness at times. So that's something I'm really excited for. And we had a lot more talent on our defensive end compared to the Chargers, I feel like. We got Hamilton, Roquan, Mike Green's a young edge player, Wiggins. We could throw Humphrey back in the slot. He was all pro in 2024. So I really want us to get back to the Ravens brand of football and be complementary to Lamar in our run game on the other end.
I feel that part. And then too, like if you look back this past year, the Chargers ranked number 9 in points allowed. They was allowed 20 points a game with that roster, and they was top 5 in yards allowed and top 5 on third down defense, along with top 5 with red zone defense. Like I ain't watched a lot of Raven games this year, but the games I did watch, like y'all weren't good in the red zone either. And I know y'all was bad on third down,
At
but you
all.
mentioned that already.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited for the Minnesota. I think he's gonna be able to do a lot with that defense. The past 2 years at USM, both our DCs had some type of tie to either the Ravens defense, like with McDonald, or Big Nell, who's at New Mexico. He coached Kyle Hamilton at Notre Dame. Got to see him come in with him for a few years, and then Seymour and McDonald have a relationship. So it'll be. I'm looking forward to his minutes hire. Him being a quarters guy too. The only thing with the quarters mechanics, and I think they'll be so good too, is like I think y'all have safeties who can cover and play mass. Like for y'all kids who like playing safety, if you go to a quarter school, like you probably have to be a better man player than the corners. Quarters is low key
Yeah.
protecting the corners, but if you playing safety, bro, like you got to be a dude. That's the only reason why like you see Ohio State play so much of it. Schools like that's because like their safeties are just as good as cover guys or better than the corners they got. If you can't cover at safety, don't go to college and play quarters. Go play cover 3, bro.
Yeah. Back. Like I think he's really gonna unlock Malachi Starks, a guy who was kind of iffy this year as a rookie, but he's gonna be really good in that kind of system. That's something that he played a lot when he was at Georgia. You know, him, Hamilton. A lot of people don't know these two other names. Lloyd Gilman was a guy that came in this year midseason, did really well for us. Now Darius Washington, he was one of our starting safeties the year before. He's like 5'8", but he could ball. He comes down, he hits. He's a
Yeah,
really
yeah.
fan favorite of mine. He had tore his Achilles, I think, in the offseason, so he missed most of the year, but he's gonna be back too. To the next hire, we'll go with the Giants. Harbaugh, who left Baltimore. Now, the New York Giants, they just hired Matt Nagy today. I don't think they've hired a defensive coordinator yet. They're still looking into it, but I think Harbaugh brings a lot of stability to the Giants. What do you guys think?
I don't know about the OC hire, bro. I think the NFL recycles a lot of coaches. I feel like once you get an NFL job, if you don't like burn too many bridges or anything, like, you'll be right back in the league, even if you're successful. I don't know about that hire for OC, but I think Harbaugh does. I think him, Dart, and that team, like I think that team has a lot of unlocked potential. I think the ball, honestly, if he could have stuck with it a little bit longer, I mean, with Dart, him being a quarterback guy and all, like, if he could have stuck with it a
Yeah,
little longer, I think that would have turned around. But it already been 2, 3 years, bro. And I mean, the league is a win now league every year. You know, we got time. It's not college. You can't wait for a kid to develop for 3 years. Like people want to win now, they losing money, especially in a big city like that. Where I mean, the Knicks are doing better the past few years. The Yankees are what they are. Like you got to win, bro. So I'm excited for Harbaugh. I think it'll be a good fresh start for him. But I also think with all the young talent he'll have, and he always drafts good. I think the Giants will be on the up and up here pretty soon.
Yeah, right along to add on to what you said, see, I gave that hire a B, because I think John Harbaugh was a proven winner, but I think he just needed a fresh start. Like in Baltimore, he was always good, but he could never just get over the hump, except that one time he won a Super Bowl. But recently, he haven't been able to get over the hump. I think they was about tired of it. The fans specifically was about tired of it. I think a fresh start in New York is exactly what he needed.
yeah, good riddance. As a Ravens fan, I'm a fan of Harbaugh, of course. But yeah, it was time for him to go. It was just time. He's a great guy. I think I'll give this grade. I'll give it a B plus, just because I think the Giants have been so trash for so long that he brings that infrastructure. That CEO head coach. He knows what it looks like. And this is a team that's starting here. It's not hard to bring a team from that started here to like middle of the pack. I don't think they're going to be contenders within the next year or two, but I think they could be 8, 9 win team. They got talent. Neighbors is going to come back. You got a tackle, receiver. You got your QB. Scatterbo and Tracy are a good 1-2 combo at running back. You got an elite edge rusher in Brian Burns, and you got Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau, Javon Holland they signed last year. I think they just need a cornerback one on defense. But this could easily be a 8, 9 win team in my eyes. They lost a lot of close games, blew a lot of leads, so it's not going to take a lot to turn it around, I feel like.
No, I think that defense is really good, has a lot of talent. I love Javon Holland. I like this game since he came to the league. I think he's one of the last,
Yes.
I think he's one of the more rangier safeties, but with better ball skills. I think a lot of DBs the past few years, quarterbacks are making better throws. Quarterbacks are smarter at the quarterback position. We're not seeing like that spike in interceptions, like talking to my pops, and they'll be like, "Well, dudes ain't catching 15 picks in the season no more." That's because Brett
Yeah.
Favre ain't throwing what he throwing every 5, 6. You know what I mean? Like, so for Jeff Holland to put up the numbers he's been putting up, but then like that front seven is legit, especially that D line, like, and
Yeah.
all of them young. So I think
And I'm
them, yeah,
disrespectful.
Harbaugh,
I didn't even mention my fault. I didn't mean to cut you off. I didn't
you
mention
good.
Dexter Lawrence. That's crazy work.
Yeah,
That's their best player. My fault.
yeah. All them guys together, like, they'll wreak havoc if you can just keep them together. Like, there was a lot of, it sounded like there was a lot of like problems going on with Abdul being young and everything, him trying to figure out how to be a rookie, but also like be a pro. So I think if they can get that defense right and then just play complementary football with Dartin on them boys, they might. NFC East ain't that, but like Daniels is coming back in the East. They just fired their OC though, but then like the Eagles been running it the past few years, and then the Cowboys just find a way to win a game or two against everybody in
Yeah.
the division. So
Yeah. That's right. It's gonna be. I think that may be like a top 3 division next year because, like you said, I think Commanders gonna be competitive again once Daniels comes back. Um, I think the Cowboys, if their defense isn't just a bottom 5 defense in the league, they're gonna be competitive just because their offense is so explosive. Then of course Philly they're gonna be good. We know that. So it's gonna be cool to see how it shakes up this year. But on to the next one. We got the Las Vegas Raiders. They went and hired Clint Kubiak, the current OC for the Seattle Seahawks, who are in the Super Bowl. He hasn't really hired anybody else yet because he just got announced for the job. What do we think about this hire?
Green, offensive guy. What you think?
I like that how I like too, and I actually didn't know this happened. Like I'm just figuring this out fresh off the clock, but I like that how too because I love what they did with Sam Darnold. Uh, like and Sam Darnold guy, I think he's a good quarterback, but I think he's been better this year than he ever have been. And I like the concepts that they run on offense in Seattle, like the way they find ways to scheme people open. I like that hire right there. I don't know what they're gonna do
Yeah,
about the quarterback situation in Oakland, but I mean not Oakland, Las Vegas. But I feel like they got a good running back to build off of. We're gonna need some O line help. I need some receiver help, but if they in a rebuilding process right now, and I don't think they could have found a better guy for to do that with the coaches that's already been hired.
yeah.
They're
What
going
about you, Z?
Mendoza. They're going Mendoza in the drive. The only problem with them getting Mendoza is like if you put this my after watching a few Raiders games and just seeing some offensive line film, the offensive line is atrocious. If you put Ashton Genty behind a top 31 offensive line since the Raiders were 32nd, I think he's an offensive rookie of the year because he was putting up numbers the more he got touches, but it's just like it's bad. The offensive line is bad. So like you draft Mendoza, but he probably getting sacked 35. And Mendoza's mobile. He's a bigger body, but like it's NFL now, bro. You ain't just shrugging everybody off. Like so I think they definitely have to surround him with some pieces in free agency. And I think Kubiak will do that. I think he'll take somewhat of the Seattle approach. Like you need an offensive line, you need a run game. Like Kenneth Walker's been good to him, and then Darnold just being older. You won't have that experience that Darnold has in Mendoza, but like they're in a rebuild year, and I think Al Davis understands that. They've been down for a long time, but I think if you can get it up and rolling with Kubiak, I'll give it like a B plus. I feel like that's a good one. He's a younger coach, but I think he can get it done. It's just gonna take some time, but this won't be a first year Ben Johnson situation. This might be
Yeah,
give it 2, 3 years. Let's get some more pieces in here, move some people around, and then be up and going.
Hey Z, I like what you said, but me personally, and we can say this for another video, I don't think Mendoza gonna be. I don't think his game just gonna translate to the NFL. I think he's gonna be a decent quarterback in the NFL, but I don't think he'll be one of those tier one guys. Just in my opinion, we can say this for another video, but I had to put that out there.
I feel the same way. I think they go Mendoza, but I'm iffy on it. I gotta watch more tape on him, but I do think like I don't think like he's trash. Like I think Mendoza is gonna be like he'll be a solid starter in the league. But I also feel like You drafted number one. Is he going to give you that much more than a Geno Smith could give you if you don't have the right pieces around him? You know what I mean? I give this hire a B plus right now, just because we don't know what assistant coaches he's bringing in. I don't know what the DC is because the DC just left. He got hired somewhere else. I forget where, but their DC's gone. Their defense already wasn't great to begin with. I want to see if they bring maybe he brings his run game coordinator with him because the run game in Seattle is really the key to that offense. But like Green said, I really love how he like gets schemes people open. Like I think he's gonna do a great job with Genty. He has Brock Bowers, who's arguably a top three tight end already right now. They ain't really got a receiver one, but like I wouldn't hate if the Raiders traded back from number one, got some more picks, and they end up with two picks in the top 15. I feel like that's a better move for them than just taking a quarterback just cause the first overall pick. I don't know. That's just me. But yeah, B plus over here. How about y'all? All you guys gave it a letter.
Yeah, I gave him B plus too. I think I agree with that. Just because
B plus.
it's gonna take some time, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's not gonna be a 1 year thing.
I think I said B if I remember correctly. If I didn't say B, I think it's a B higher.
B. Yeah, so we're on the same page. Yeah. On to the Buffalo Bills, who hired Joe Brady, their former offensive coordinator, also was the LSU coordinator back when they had Burrow, Jefferson, one of the best college football teams you've ever seen, if not number one. So he's the guy who's been around the way for a little while now. He's mentored Josh Allen for the last couple of years. I think it's a good hire. Me personally, I'm gonna give this move a B minus, just because I like the continuity. I like because their offense, Buffalo's offense, has shifted their identity the last couple of years with him under the helm. Focus more on the run game. We've seen James Cook emerge as a top back. Josh Allen, him with the turnovers, has gone significantly down. But actually, on second thought, I'd give this hire A minus now because I just thought about it. If you guys don't know, the Broncos pass game coordinator, he just got hired as their DC. He used to work in Buffalo. As you know, the Broncos defense has been elite the last 2 years. So that was the biggest thing I wanted to see from Buffalo. Their defense has been middle of the pack the last couple of years. So I think that's going to be a great move for them. So I actually give it an A minus.
Green, this is another offense one, so I'll let you start off because I got mixed feelings about the Brady hire.
I'm kind of right along the fence with you, Zion. I was right along the fence with it too. But now that I figured out, as Sean just pointed out, who they hired as their DC, I like the move. Because me personally, I feel like I really don't like in-house moves in the NFL. Like me personally, I rather see them go out and get somebody new. Even though Joe Brady is a great offensive-minded guy, because you look at it, he developed Josh Allen into an MVP candidate. They actually won the MVP. He was the LSU pass game coordinator that 20. He was the LSU pass game coordinator that 2019 national championship year. He developed Joe Burrow into a Heisman. The only real knock that he have is with that. I think it was like a 1 year or 2 year stint he did with the Panthers where he didn't do too well there, but like he didn't really have nobody, so you can't really knock him for that. But I like the hire too.
I'm gonna have to go. I'm not even so much on the fence. I'm kind of wary of the fence, honestly, with this Brady hire. And the only reason is because, so I'm a Patriots fan, so I've seen the Bills rise up from our little brother to a true force to be reckoned with in the East, right? And a lot of it has to do with the Bills and defense early in Josh Allen's career, but I think McDermott kind of was a scapegoat. I think and the staff was restless. The GMs, I think they were getting restless, and they were so close so many times they couldn't get it done. But at the same time, I low key feel like that's what makes a great quarterback a great quarterback. Not taking away from what Josh Allen's been able to accomplish, all-time leading rusher, NFL history, for a quarterback. VP, I don't know if he should have won that one. Honestly, I think Lamar should have got his third that year.
Shouldn't have.
But
He had 400 more yards than Josh Allen, by the way. But we'll say that for another day.
yeah,
It's
we'll
okay.
talk about that. But I don't know, man. I think McDermott was just a scapegoat, bro. I think McDermott really built that team up. Because I remember never having to worry about the Bills to wondering, oh, shoot, we played the Bills this week. And so Josh Allen turns the ball over too much. You can't do that. 3 turnovers
You
in the
can't turn the
biggest
ball over
game
4
of the
times.
year, bro. That's unacceptable at this point in his career. Early on, you knew he was a gunslinger. You knew he trusted his arm. That's cool. That's excusable as a young guy. bro, you've been in the league too long for this. You've been in too many big games to continue letting this happen. Like, a lot of them
Yeah,
points that they gave up were really, and you can argue about the interception at the end of the game or not. He still had a fumble and a
3 of them.
pick before that. And the first fumble
Yeah,
before the half was inexcusable, bro. Like, you cannot do that. Everyone knows, little kids know, if I'm in traffic, if there's somebody around me, tug the football. You holding it like you LaShawn McCoy, you're not shady, bro. And I mean, I think Brady, there is some continuity, so I think that carries over. I think he has a little bit more say so and everything. I like the DC hire, but Allen worries me, bro. Like, he's a great quarterback, one of the best ones of this generation. When Brady was running the league, they had a lot of really good quarterbacks, not a
yeah,
lot of greatness, not a lot to cross that
yeah,
threshold, and that's what we ain't see from Allen yet.
yeah. I think Allen, like the way he plays, I saw someone did like kind of a mini breakdown comparing like him to Lamar. And I'm a big Ravens guy, so I see stuff like that. I think Allen is like a very high risk, high reward kind of guy. Like he's superhero. Like that's what he's gonna do. So he's either gonna be all the way here, or it's gonna look bad when he's trying to do too much and he can't make those plays because then he starts turning the ball over. That's time we thought he turned the corner with that the last year or so, getting the interceptions down. That's really what got him the MVP. Yeah, that's really was the biggest difference. Like you said, I think the coach is the scapegoat. The real guy that needs to be held accountable is being that GM and all that crazy stuff he's talking about players on his roster like Keon Coleman. But what I like about Brady is the first thing he said was the best thing that happened to Keon Coleman was me becoming his head coach. So that tells me that he's going to try to go out of his way to make this guy a part of the offense in a way maybe he wasn't featured in the last year or so.
So how y'all feel about Josh Allen? Y'all feel like he can read the field elite because he's a high turnover guy. Can Josh Allen read the field is the question. What do y'all think?
Yeah,
I think he can, but
yeah,
I think he's a gunslinger, and if you draft a gunslinger, that's what you get, bro. If you like, I think like Sean said, I think Sean put it really good, like high risk, high reward. Like, when Josh Allen is on fire, bro, like he's on it. But it's just like, you go cold at the worst possible moments that you can. Like, and it's happened too many times, like too many late game collapses. Like, them years with the Chiefs, you could blame it on the defense and whatnot. Cause I mean, that one year where he scored like 17 seconds left and the Chiefs scored, took it to overtime, you can blame it on that. Like, how many turnovers do you have that game? And it's just like time after time, like all these turnovers, bro. And it's the NFL. You can't do that. It's hard to win in college. Like, if you looked at all the conference championships, everybody won a conference championship at 7-8 the Sun Belt was leading in turnover differential. When we were number one in the Sun Belt, we were leading in turnover differential. Like, everybody that won their conference or made it to the conference championship game was top in turnover differential. Same thing with this year. Sam Darnold does not turn the ball over a lot. Very smart. Drake May led the league in fumbles, which, I mean, we got a rookie left tackle.
I'm not gonna throw May in there because May he got bailed out. He got bailed, especially in the off. He got bailed out a little bit because he had a lot of fumbles, a lot of
He
them.
led the league. That's what I'm saying. He led the league, but you got a rookie left tackle in the offensive line. But even in that, like, you can't say he's just this great quarterback yet. Like, I think they might give
Yeah,
him the MVP. I hope they don't, because you don't win a Super Bowl if you get the MVP the night before. Give it to Stafford. He needs it. Drake May's going to play 10, 15 more years. But, like, I just think, bro, like, even Mahomes doesn't really turn the ball over a lot. Lamar
possibly.
doesn't
Yeah,
turn the
yeah.
ball over a lot. Like, you have to help your defense out, and you turn the ball over before the half with 27 seconds left on their side of the field in Denver, where there's no, like, the ball's going to travel 100 miles with come on, man. You can't keep going on like this.
I'm a big context guy because a lot of people like to just throw numbers out there, especially with Lamar Jackson. All these years I've heard the playoff turnovers, but a lot of people don't sit there and watch the game and understand what actually happens. Like strip sacks, drop passes, stuff of that nature. But with Allen, that kind of stuff doesn't happen. He's had, I believe, 15 playoff fumbles, which has led the league since he's been in the league, but majority of them have recovered. So this hasn't been an issue that people have talked about because they just don't realize, hey, these fumbles are being recovered, so no one thinks about the fumble, no one remembers it because they're getting it back. But it's been there against the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. If you don't remember, the Chiefs dropped 2 picks in the first half against them. So when you see the stat sheet, it says 0 picks, but I'm telling you they were there. The Chiefs literally just dropped them. You know what I mean? So like you said, that turnover issue's been there for Josh Allen. But as far as reading the field, like there's just been some games where it's like he doesn't have to like do the most as far as like being superhero to where he just looks like unstoppable sometimes in the pocket. So like he just sees it like there's certain games where I turn on the tape and he looks unstoppable. But like we said, high risk, high reward. There's some games where it's like, what are you doing? You know, I want to wrap up the NFL coaching hire stuff. We went over the first four. There's six more hires, but that's going to take a lot of time. We could say that for another day, especially as staff start to fill out and we start to see who's hiring the coordinators and who's running what, really get a better feel for what teams got. Let's move on to the Super Bowl predictions. Who do you guys think? Who do you guys think is going to win the game? And could we get some score predictions? Go ahead.
Before we move on, we didn't really get to talk about the Robert Saleh hire, but I got to put that out there because I like that hire too. I want to give it a B
Yeah, Robert
plus,
Saleh. Yeah.
and I feel like it ain't a guy in the league who deserves to be hired as a head coach more than Robert Saleh. Like all the stuff that San Francisco 49 have been through, with all the injuries and all that, team in general, but on that defensive side, losing your best player and still find a way to be competitive. I like that hire.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah. I like the hire. Plus, I like who we brought in. Like bringing in Cam Ward is going to be an elite NFL quarterback in the next 2 to 3 years. The arm talent's there. We know the competitive edge is there. Like that drive to be be great is there, and then the arm talent is off the charts. So bringing in a quarterback guru and Brian the Ball, who made Dart offense rookie of the year. I really didn't think that highly of Dart coming out of Ole Miss. I thought he was better in a weak quarterback class, but I didn't think he would be what he showed in New York this rookie year. But I think him with the ball and then Saleh is a defensive coach. Like this dude is good. I think the Jet situation was out of his hand. I mean, he kind of got, I won't say he got scapegoated in that, but the Jets are cursed or something at this point. But I think Saleh with the Titans being able to draft some pieces, get some pieces around, I think they're pretty good this next year in the AFC. I think they're better, which isn't saying much, but I think they're better, and I think they're filling the right pieces. They brought didn't they bring a special teams coordinator in from the Baltimore, right, Sean?
I wouldn't know.
Or
I don't remember honestly. But I know our special teams coordinator left for somewhere. But if it's Tennessee, then yeah, good for them.
I think it might have been him, but also if it wasn't him, because I know y'all put like a Harbaugh couldn't go after him. There was something where Harbaugh couldn't go after him. But
Yeah. I do remember seeing something like that.
yeah, we'll double check
Yeah,
that y'all for the pot. But
we'll fact check it.
I like
Yeah.
the hire. I'll give Saleh A minus honestly, because I think even with the Jets, they were competitive defensively, but like I mean, Rodgers tears Achilles, like you can't do that much, bro. Like there's not much you can do. You know what I mean? So like I think with Cam Ward, a young cat, a real gunslinger himself, but getting all of them together and then the coaching staff, I think the Titans are better. I don't think the AFC South is just the AFC South is better. It's better. The Jaguars are good. The Texans are what they are. If they can keep a lot of peace on defense, the Colts are. It's going to be weird because what about Daniel Jones is going to be ready for the season or not? So
Yeah.
it's I don't know. The AFC South is low key wide open. I'm not gonna lie.
Me personally, I'd give the hire. I'd say a B right now, but I think it's gonna be pretty good. A lot of something that people don't really know about Salah is he's a linebacker guru. No matter where he goes, every linebacker he coaches ends up being elite. He's on the Jets. That Jets defense was top 5 in the league. We saw Quinn Williams' younger brother, I believe his name is Quincy Williams. Y'all, people don't even know who that is. He balled out over there. He came back to San Fran. Fred Warner went down. D Winters balled out. Um, Tatum Bethune balled out. That was the third string linebacker. And then both of them go down. Going to the first playoff game against the Eagles, they got 2 free agents that weren't even on the team for a month, and Eric Kendricks, and I forget the other dude's name, random dude. Both of them had 11 tackles, and I believe one had a not forced fumble, PBU against the Eagles in that wild card game, taking out the defending champions. So Salah's like a guru. He doesn't need to dial up a lot of pressure. He can coach up the linebackers. He's gonna have guys in the right position. I think the only thing they're going to be missing is probably like a D end. He likes to run a lot of wide 9 with his D ends, with Bosa, guys with quick get off. But they can go snag that in the draft as they see fit. They don't need big names to ball out. And then Dable coming as a QB guy, I forgot about that. That's going to be big for Cam Ward. That's going to be big for him. But yeah, I like that
Yeah.
hire a lot. I give it a
My
B.
fault, Sean. But speaking of the
You
linebacker play,
good?
if y'all want to watch elite linebackers, the Niners play Fred Warner's the leading linebacker, but also like D. Winters was an undersized guy that coming out of TCU. A lot of people didn't think that highly of him. He looked like a real dude towards the latter half of the season. And is I think it's what, second or third year in the league, but Fred plays linebacker at an elite level. Always attacking the ball, like always attacking the ball. Like if you watch T-shape, like watch Fred Warner. But I just wanted to shout out Law being a defensive guy too. I love them defense hires, so I'm excited for it.
I love to see the era. Now we see defensive guys getting brought in as head coaches instead of everyone was just raving about offensive guys. Since McVay got brought in, that was like the thing. Get these offensive hires. You know, when Ben Johnson got hired, everyone's hyping that up. So I think it's really cool to see the NFL guys like McDonald are really paving the way to now. Okay, let's go get these defensive-minded guys that can really change the game. You know,
Copycat league, man.
cool. That's facts. Yeah, on to the Super Bowl. Like want to get some predictions going. Who do you guys think is going to win? Score predictions. Who we think is going to win the MVP? And who are some underrated players, some guys people aren't really talking about who are going to be X factors in this game?
Being a Patriots fan, I'll go. We made it back. Pats are back. Back where we belong. On the place we belong. Honestly though, just because I'm a Patriots fan, and y'all hear me, just because I'm a Patriots fan, I'm going with the Pats. I'm not gonna go against the guys. I think I'm gonna speak more on X Factor. I don't know who wins the MVP, but um, I think the matchup to watch this week, if you want me to be honest, I think there are two matchups that are gonna really shape this game. It's gonna be Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis versus Njigba, because, like we said, Kubiak is a master at scheming guys open, but especially number 11. If Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis have a good day on the outside, right? But even our safeties, they can cover him and deal with him in the slot. He's a top 5 receiver right now. But if they can deal with him and keep him somewhat contained and controlled, I think that the game goes a lot better for the Patriots. But then also it's going to be the Patriots D-line versus the Seahawks run game, because that opens up a lot of the shots, a lot of the wave cross-country routes they run, all the play action. I think if we can shut down, Kenneth Walker's been hot the last few weeks. Charbonnet's been kind of banged up, but Kenneth Walker's been hot. So I think the Patriots D-line, we weren't very good early in the season. This playoffs, they've been balling. I think if they can slow down the run game and then Jigba is somewhat controlled, I think that just gives us the best chance to when the game is going to be how well can we protect May. May, like I said, leading the league in turnovers. I mean, in fumbles. But my two matchups, the DBs versus Jigba and the Patriots D-line versus the Seahawks run game. I think that's going to be where the game lies in.
Me personally, I gotta go with the Hawks, man. I like everything that the Hawks doing, especially on defense. But as far as X Factor, you know, I'm a Saints fan, so I gotta go with my guy. It's gotta be Raheem Shaheed. It's just so much that he could do in the special teams games and taking the top off their defense, man. And like you say, with that run game they got going on in Seattle, and with the focus being on JSN and I don't know if Charbonnet gonna play or whatever. Like they have both of their backs. The X factor definitely gonna be Raheem Shaheed.
Yeah, me personally, I want to go Seahawks. I'm a Mike McDonald fan, but I'm gonna go with the Patriots. I think they're gonna pull this one out. People forget last Super Bowl, who really should have won MVP? Milton Williams, the defensive tackle for the Patriots. He is a game wrecker. Him and Christian Barmore are the reason why they're where they're at right now in the playoffs. They've been killing every offensive line. Anthony Bradford sucks. They're gonna find him. Even Caleb Chason, former #1 overall pick, was on that LSU team with Burrow on them. The He was the number 4 or 5 pick to the Jags about 5, 6 years ago. He had, I believe, 8 pressures and a sack or 2 against the Texans. He's been balling. And the Patriots defense, their scheme is very weird. They don't really run one coverage. Like in the regular season, I took a look at their stats and coverage and stuff like that. They're a heavy cover 1 and 2 team, you know, one high, playing stuff like that. They completely shifted their game plan once they got to the playoffs. They started playing a lot of quarters. They've been switching stuff up, dropping 8, a lot of simulated pressures. They don't give you one thing, and I think that's going to be really hard for Sam Darnold. Who I think has been balling. He had a great game against the Rams, but really that Rams defense was terrible. I think the Patriots defense is going to show up and show out, front 7 wise, back end. Again, we were talking about linebacker play with Saleh. If you watch that linebacker play the Patriots, what's his name? Spillane's balling, and they fit the run better than anyone I've seen in the playoffs. And I think that's going to be a really key factor to come out and win against the Seahawks. And I think he hasn't been doing well in the playoffs at all. A lot of almost turnover stuff like that. But I think this is going to be his best game. It's going to be his legacy game.
I like everything you say, Sean. So what you saying that you feel like the point spread, what you think is gonna be? Over, under? Throw me some numbers.
Now, I don't know about the numbers and all that, but if I had to guess, if I had to give you a score prediction that you can go over under from that, I think it's going to be like a 2017 game. It's going to come down, and it's going to come down to those last couple possessions, turnover differential, all that's going to play a part. Because we're going against two good defenses. You're on a guy like Mike McDonald. He's going to scheme it up. If you let him get takeaways, it's not going to be good for you. Many going to have to protect the ball, and vice versa. That Patriots defense has been really opportunistic in the playoffs. They've created a lot of turnovers for their team, giving that offense extra possessions. So, yeah, I think it's going to be low scoring. I don't think there's going to be a lot of turnovers. These teams are going to stick to their run game, and try to hit you with something deep later on. But, yeah, I say 2017 Patriots.
Okay. So being a Patriots fan, I've seen these Hawks play, and I've seen these Hawks beat us a few times, except the one game it mattered. The highest points scored in any of these games the last 5 times they played, I think the highest was like 35 or 30. This is gonna be a close game. This isn't gonna be a shootout. This is gonna be a slugfest. Like Sean said, they're gonna rely heavily on the run game, take shots, especially the Hawks. I think we'll be a little bit more conservative because the Seahawks back end is elite, and we got to shout out an X factor. I can't believe we didn't mention. Number 3 for the Seahawks, out of South Carolina, Minwari. Minwari is a dude. Tom Brady just shot him out this week. If you can get the GOAT to shout you out, bro, you're balling. Defensive rookie of the year probably at this point, just because all the hype now. Like the kid is an absolute weapon. I think another X factor we can talk about was Marcus Jones in the slot and at punt returner, and we're gonna bring up special teamers. So I think it's gonna be a close game. I'm not gonna make any parlays because you ain't finna put me on a t-shirt after my first episode on the pod because your bet ain't hit. So get some help. 1-800 I have an addiction. But I'm expecting a low scoring game. I don't know if we see it 30s. I think could be extremely smart. I think Josh McDaniels has been in 10 out of the 60 Super Bowls in NFL history. Fun fact.
That's crazy to think about.
Coordinator, I think the Patriots will be prepared. I thought we prepared when we played the Rams. That was a 13-10 game with Brady at quarterback. This ain't gonna be no shootout. It's gonna be a close one. It's gonna be a slugfest. Big boy football
Who
night.
doesn't go win MVP? That's the question. You got May winning the MVP if y'all win it.
I think it's a defensive guy, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a defensive guy. I think our defense has been playing at an elite level. I know it would be like cliche to give May the MVP trophy, but I mean, like, we've seen Edelman get it with the Patriots. You know what I mean? We've seen other players get it. We've seen defense players get it in the Super Bowl a lot too, like Von Miller, AD, when the Rams won. Like, I think it'll be one that front seven or maybe in that back end. I think Christian Gonzalez has a great night against JSN. Hey, putting on for the Latino heritage. You know what I mean? I don't know, bro. I think it's going to be a defense side of the ball. Not a lot to you.
I think it's going to be Diggs. If
Diggs
that may
wins
just be I don't know. I've been a Diggs fan forever, so that may just be, but
for the sake of people's marriages, their lives, everything they hold dear to them, the American nuclear family, Diggs is not needed to win MVP.
If Diggs wins MVP, Cardi B gets up on that podium. It's like the ghetto version of Kelsey and Swift.
Bro, I love Diggs. I love Diggs' story. You know, Diggs, fun fact. So Diggs was finna go to a bigger school out of high school. His dad passed away. He stayed close to Maryland, helped raise Trayvon. I'm not mad at it, but all I'm saying is both them boys are problems. So whatever Diggs was teaching Trayvon, I don't need other little brothers hearing on the national stage with him and Cardi B going crazy because he got the MVP trophy. Him winning it is one thing.
If him winning MVP
don't need it happen. Don't need it happen.
100 yards on the way. Feel me?
I feel like he's going to have 100 yards for sure. Yeah. I got to go against both of y'all on the point spread. ESPN got it sitting at like 45.5. I think it's going to go over that. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. despite having two great defenses, I think it's gonna be a high scoring game.
I don't hate it. I'd be cool with a shootout. I'm cool with that. I ain't got no problem. Seahawks got a good defense. They was giving it out last week to the Rams. You're not gonna act like the Rams can just put 30 on them. Like they can have a bad game.
Nasty,
Very well
bro.
can have a bad game. I
Nasty,
wouldn't hate
bro.
it. I wouldn't hate it. I'd love to see it actually. But who you think gonna win MVP, Greg?
MVP so tough because it's a quarterback award. But I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I think if JSN have a good game and the Seahawks win, it's definitely gonna be JSN. Cause bro, the whole
That'd be tough.
playoff, this man been cooking. Like the whole playoffs.
Killing.
Whole year he been cooking.
Killing.
Yeah.
I mean,
He like
it seemed like he just stepped in more in the playoffs to me.
yeah. But he is a baller. He's just a gamer. Like it don't matter. Like
Yeah.
there's no moment that's too big for him. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those guys where you can just trust him regardless of what's going on.
We're gonna have
So,
that
yeah, I
wide
can
receiver
see that.
Ohio State wide receiver question conversation coming up soon. Y'all stay tuned for that
Yeah, we're
one.
going to
Cause
talk about that for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have to
And I
break
gotta
that one
quiet
down.
everybody down who was talking about Alabama, not DBU. Alabama is DBU, and it ain't even close. And we're talking about it next video.
Right now?
No. You gotta go to work. We're gonna talk
man.
about
We'll
it though.
discuss that. We're gonna talk about that one.
We're
We're
gonna
do
talk
some
about
research.
that.
We're gonna be there.
But
I got you. Okay.
I said it
I
here
like that.
first. Oh,
Okay.
if y'all gambling, bro, we're taking the Seahawks. Point spread at 4.5. We're taking the Seahawks to cover. I don't play
respect it.
football
If y'all
no
ever
more. I
want to
can
win bet money,
gamble.
just bet on Lamar. Just bet on Lamar Jackson if you want to win money in general, in life. Just bet on Lamar. You're gonna win some money.
Green
That's
parlays
my
will
betting
be a
advice.
regular thing on the show. Y'all just get ready for it.
On my thing. But it's all good. Appreciate y'all coming out. First show wrapped up. We'll be back next week. Talk about the Super Bowl. Hit some NFL stuff. Probably talk about some NBA trades that are gonna go down over the next couple of days. You know, the deadline is, I believe, Thursday night. Talk about DBU, all kinds of stuff. Maybe even some draft prospects. But appreciate y'all coming out. This is Beyond JUCO. Out.